Alright, morning folks, my name is Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University, a site for legacy death and taxes. Today we're going to be playing one of those weird cousins of death and taxes. We're going to be playing Stoneblade, specifically Bant Stoneblade. So the idea of this shell is that we have 6 1-mana accelerants so that we can play a 3-drop as consistently as possible on turn 2. So we're looking to either play a True Name or one of our 3-mana planeswalkers on turn 2, and then have that backed up with a Daze for sort of like protection to win the counter war in the case of True Name, or like protection against like a removal spell potentially in the case of our planeswalkers. Yeah, morning everyone. This is Sword Equip's donation, by the way. So like Sword Equip is the real hero here. But I am looking forward to playing this deck list. So this is this is probably the last like pre-Modern Horizons deck list that I'll be playing, and we've got a couple donations for 4-color loam, which will be happening at some point later this week. I have to check in with Card Hoarder and see when the new cards are live for borrowing, but I imagine it'll probably be within the next day or two. Otherwise, this is a very traditional Stoneblade game plan. We have only 2 pieces of equipment in the 75. We have Umezawa's Jitte and Batterskull to fetch with our Stoneforge package. Sometimes you get the 3rd, but we're trying to like jam these planeswalkers in here as well and help like play a control deck role. So that's kind of what's going on there. And our sideboard is just kind of full of good stuff. We have Graveyard Hate, a whopping 6 pieces. So we're really good on that front. We have 3 Disenchants, Council's Judgment, Jailer, Flusterstorm Canvas. I have some thoughts about the sideboard, but I'm just gonna jump into the games and we'll see if what I think comes up. Here's my prediction. It's my prediction that this sideboard does not have enough range and it has too much of the same stuff. So for example, if you look at this, we have 6 Graveyard Hate cards. We have, like, essentially 4 Storm Hate cards. We have 4 Artifact Hate cards, and then, like, this random Palace Jailer. And I think the range that we have is narrow. So, for example, we don't have the ability to just bring in all that many more things that just, like, answer creatures that hit the board. We don't have range. We have dedication to specific strategies. So, for example, if we play against Graveyard Hate combo, like, my god, are we ready? If we play against an Artifact Hate deck, we're good to go. But we might encounter some decks where we're really light on sideboard cards, and we essentially have to run back the main deck 60. That's kind of my guess going into this. Like, for example, we also don't have access to something like back to basics. It's a bad example in this deck, obviously, because of how the mana base is built. But, like, we don't have something that, like, really dumps on Cloud Post decks, for example. Oh yeah, and Hunter, Narset definitely messed up. Maybe not the most. I would like to competitive Legacy League. League has completed. I would like to Legacy League with Bantmore. Yes. Narset's definitely messed up, but like certainly not the most messed up card from that set. Like Dreadhorde Arcanist or maybe Karn gets that title. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the new update. I spent most of my weekend playing Paper Magic at SCG-Con, so I am not used to all the visual updates yet. I've only played like 1 league. Dreadhorde Arcanist was certainly the most popular card at SCG-Con's big legacy event, by the way. I played against Dreadhorde Arcanist in 4 of my first 5 rounds. I went 2-2 against it with D&T. I beat Blue-Red twice, lost to Blue-Red once, lost to Grixis once. What do I think about that infect list with Teferi? I haven't seen it, but I'm going to guess that I probably won't like it. I don't think infect needs something like that. It took first. Well, apparently I'm wrong. But I'll look at that list in a minute. I know this player. Why do I know this player? Oh yeah, they're depths. Yeah. So if they're playing depths, I have double spell pierce. Is that good? With this hand, I'd go turn 1 island pass, spell pierce whatever they do. Turn 2 fetch, play noble hierarch, hold up spell pierce, pierce whatever they do. Turn 3 Jace. I think this hand is medium, but I think I'm still going to keep it on the power of Jace in this matchup. Thank you, Violent Creature. I'll look at that in between rounds. Noble Hierarch. Well, it looks like it's actually maybe Infect instead. Or maybe it's Amir. I need to check my mana base. What do I actually have for lands? Specifically basics. I have Island Forest. I think I am going to take a forest here. So I forgot whether or not I responded to you, but I agree. Like, when you're playing a blue deck that has access to Brainstorm, sometimes you really need to keep a hand that is mediocre. Crashing Footfalls. Oh, baby. Be still my beating heart. Whew. So we're playing against, like, Shardless Bug, or somewhere thereabouts. Violent Creature, I did play that event, but I went 7-0 in side events on Friday and then completely scrubbed out of the main event on Saturday. Yeah, I fully believe that it can be Shardless with Hierarch. Have you seen that deck in the past? Like, it relied on Deathbright Shaman for acceleration so heavily. My opponent says, be right back, making coffee. Yeah, the Force of Will means that I can tap out for Jace, pitch a Spell Pierce to protect it, and then, like, be good. Oh, yeah, I saw a screenshot of that, Egget. It could be, like, the Rug Shardless deck that, like, plays Ancestral as well, and Dreadhorde Arcanist. Deck list looks super sweet. Oh, my opponent's back already. Whoop! So I will probably want Tundra here. What? Well, yeah, that can resolve, I guess. It's a little annoying, though. Because if I let that resolve, it attacks the Jace for 2. This is such a disappointing Force of Will, but I think it's correct. Because I can't just, like, bounce that and give them another card back. Yeah. Yeah. Careful study in there as well. Hey, Arkin, welcome. This deck is obnoxious. I'm going to die. There are rhinos coming, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, I have mad respect for my opponent's deck. They might not even have red. It looks like they're just straight blue-green Cascade. Hey, thank you very much for gifting the sub. Arkin's great people. Anyone not familiar with Arkin's channel should... this is a beautiful draw. Mwah! Mwah! Anyone not familiar with Arkin's channel should really check it out. He does great legacy content pretty much daily. 3 other snow permanents. You only have 1? This is another trap, right? Do I want to attack in? No, I don't want to attack in. Could be another Ice Fang Coatl Ambush Viper. Those rhinos are coming, and I only have soft permission. That's not going to be good enough to take it down. Yeah, Arkin's channel has a Star Wars sub-theme in addition to being legacy-focused content, and it's really cool. And Sword Equip, thank you very much for your continued support. Okay, they do have the red. I take it back. I wonder what their mana base looks like, because presumably they have to have enough snow basics to like make Ice Fang Coatl worth it. Ah. Is this worth 2 cards? I think this is worth 2 cards. Otherwise, like, it pings this Hierarch and just, like, makes them hit their land drops forever. Yeah, this card has, like, potential. This Teferi is not particularly good in this matchup, by the way. I don't want to bounce these, like, cantripping things. And these rhinos are coming. I think I need to use the Teferi as a bounce spell on a rhino, rather than just, like, play it and bounce a Noble Hierarch. So I think this turn is just going to be a crash in with True Name. Lurifix, thank you for pointing out the absurdity of that. Wait, hold on. Wizard Deathbeam, thank you for pointing that out. That's embarrassing. Guess who has never played with Teferi before? It's me. So good on you. Alright, so this is going to stop the Crashing Footfalls. I guess I just want to get a card out of this. I could plus. They can only send 3 damage at it, or 2 damage. I'm going to get a card out of this and just bounce their Hierarch. don't think I'm going to play that. Yeah, I mean, if Teferi served as a counterspell for like Rhino Stampede, I'm good for that. Like I fully accept that. I could have played the bird to jump block that and keep the Teferi around for another turn, but I don't think that's particularly worth it. Like, I would rather have this to brainstorm away if I get a Jace or an actual brainstorm. Okay. That's fine. That is less good. Alright, the Rhino card stays in exile, right? It doesn't go to graveyard because they couldn't cast it. Good. That means they can just attack and bolt or brainstorm me. Alright, I think True Name needs to stay back on defense to threaten blocking Arcanist so that they can't just, like, make this game spiral out of control. But that means my opponent still can just peck me for one in the air with Ice Fang Coatl. Yeah, the image of, like, this 1/3 little mage attacking in and just being like, rhinos for everyone, is really humorous. This is bad. Okay, I think my opponent is going to go wide of me very quickly and just be able to attack him through the True Name. How do I get out of this? Like, Stoneforge into Jitte is pretty hot. Naturally drawing Jitte is better. Oh man, they're just giving up the Arcanist in order to bolt my face. I respect that. Oh no, they're taking a Ponder out of it. I guess it replaces itself, so like it's fine. It gives him another token with Young Pyro. I don't know what their situation is, but unless they have, like, Force of Will and no blue card to go with it or something like that, I think just taking the Bolt to the face is better than Ponder. So my opponent attacks in, I can block a Shardless, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage as of right now. F711. That's a great username. Thank you very much for following. I hope you're enjoying the content. This is some interesting magic to start off the day. Okay, they had another bolt. That makes their other line make more sense. I'll take most anemic Force of Wills for 500, Alex. So I'm not technically dead, but I think anything other than, like, Jitte or maybe Batterskull just results in my immediate demise. We're gonna Wasteland myself and concede. Okay, well, yeah, I think, like, historically, the decks like Shardless Bug have outvalued other blue decks in like exactly this fashion. So I don't think our loss is at all surprising. So our static planeswalkers are good, our true names are good, our equipment package is good, our counter spells are medium. The issue is that a lot of our cards work against part of their deck and not other parts. Yeah, opponent even says in the deck, yeah, Teferi and Narset are a royal pain for this deck. So like for example, Palace Jailer can go and remove Narset, or not Narset, like Dreadhorde Arcanist from the battlefield, but like it's terrible against Young Pyromancer, or against like the stupid Icefang Coatl. I think I'm probably going to end up boarding these two. Like, Flusters are medium. I think I'm just going to get outvalued this match with very little to say about it. Pierce is medium since like a lot of their best spells are going to be cascaded into, or like, sorry, are going to be like suspended and then brought off like a few turns later. Canonist doesn't really help against Shardless Agent since Shardless Agent is an artifact card. The Snake's not an artifact. Yeah, I think I'm just going to board to fight the board a little better. This hand is so much worse than it looks because I have to use the fetch land on turn 1 to get a green source, and then I don't have a fetch land on turn 2 for the Brainstorm. But I still keep this. Believe in the heart of the cards. I think I'm super dead if I don't find a fetch when I Brainstorm. That may even mean that I like hold the Brainstorm for 1 extra turn and don't play it on turn 2. Yikes. Thing is, if I hold this Brainstorm and I use it to, like, force, I'm just so dead. I'm going to try to Brainstorm and get either a fetch or a Stoneforge Mystic. Fuck! Oh god, I'm so dead. I'm so dead. Good lord. Alright. Alright. I'm not going to say that was one of my worst Brainstorms ever, but it makes the short list. Alright, I left Swords to Plowshares up to, like, try to get an Arcanist. Failed. Well, there's an Emeth Beats plan, or there's, like, leave up Hardcast Force of Will. But I think if I leave up Hardcast Force of Will, it's just, like, so telegraphed. You know, Ice Fang Coatl me. I'm gonna throw away a Swords to Plowshares here in terrible fashion. So Drewski, let me ask you, what card are you expecting to Force of Will? Because I don't think there's anything, really. Like, their most likely cards are going to be something like Shardless Agent, where, like, Force of Will is not going to be great against it. Like this. Like, the Force of Wills are really specifically for a couple of very specific cards that I'm going to have trouble beating. So, like, now I can keep up Force of Will without it looking as suspicious. I think I'm just going down. Like, a true name attacking for 5 could just be a 4-turn clock and potentially outclock them. Cindervines. So if I let that resolve, true name plus equipment becomes less of an out. How much damage is that going to do to me over time? It's going to do a lot. And if I draw a Stoneforge, it's just so much worse. I think we take another, like, super sad Force of Will here. No attacks? That seems like a skipped attack. I think you'll murder me anyway. Alright, at what point do I just, like, continue to play these lands out? I think if I brainstorm, I'm going to want to put back Forest and Bird, so I'm going to go ahead and play an island. So I've got Dreadhorde Arcanist handled with Swords to Plowshares. Can't beat Shardless Agent into Crashing Footfalls, or probably into Ancestral either. Young Pyromancer's fine. I'll Swords that, given the first chance that I have priority. And then get super punished when my opponent brainstorms into Arcanist, and... gross. My opponent has so much value. So much value. I don't know if their deck is good, but I love it. Their deck is not good, but I want to build it. That sounds about right. Alright, thank you. Don't be a scumbag, Brainstorm. Yuck. I do think Bird is just worse than Land at this point. At least I'm not Brainstorm locked. So I got that going for me. Alright, I can turn this into a 2-3 and safely attack into Elementals. I don't know that they can at all answer a true name nemesis. Oh, well, this is great. I guess I can still kill the Wren, but taking a turn off from attacking their life total is kind of a big deal. Need to remember to fetch. It's so devastating if I redraw those lands. And I do think I need to kill that so I don't lose the other Hierarch. Well, I think it looks like I'm catching no breaks with draw. Oh, Lord. I think they bring it in for equipment. Like, that makes sense to me. How many counters is that on? It's on 3 counters now. Like, Echoing Truth, bounce a Batterskull, or bounce a Jitte for a turn is pretty big game. That is, as the children say, getting wrecked. So, like, I can kill the Wren in 6 now, but, like, I'm taking so much damage on the backswing here that, like, even if I take that off the board, unless I get, like, a Jitte or a Batterskull. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. That does work. Will it do enough work? I'm not sure. I don't think they're going to have anything like Pierce. No, wasting first isn't going to do anything. They'll float mana. I don't think I need to play around like double Pierce or something like that. I'm going to hold these lands for Brainstorm. Let me just say, if they have another Echoing Truth, the amount of wrecked that I am is the greatest. Good lord. Alright. So I attack Wren, then I take 5 on the back swing, go to 4. Then I block Shardless the next turn, take 3, dead to, like, basically literally anything. But I need to, like, kill this, otherwise, like, it just starts pinging me, and I can't beat that anyway. And then there's, like, this Ancestral taking down that's a whole nother problem. So, we lost the out of Stoneforge cast Batterskull. Alright. We were savagely beaten there. I don't think I could beat that deck in a million years with, like, a fair blue deck. Right, let's look at that Infect deck now. I guess I should keep this open off to the side, at least so I can see this. Nope. multiple monitors thing is great, like 95% of the time, until you want to, like, try to do something cute, and it's like, oh, did you want to move that somewhere else? No, I did not. So we've got normal threats plus Teferi, an additional protection spell. What is this? Oh, it's a turn head sideways card. Alright, look at the top 5 cards of your library. Choose one, put it into your hand, or exile target creature, then get a frog lizard. That seems questionable. I don't think this list is all that good. Like, obviously it worked, so, like, something's going right, but I don't think Teferi's that good of a card in the first place, and I don't think I would personally go and, like... Oh, Casey, good games. You savagely destroyed me. Oh god, and now, like, it's gonna happen again. Like, we're just gonna play against Strifopile, which is, like, probably basically gonna be the same thing. We have to mulligan this one. We don't have consistent mana. Ugh! Speaking of not having consistent mana. Keep. Bottom. Yeah, so I was saying that I don't know whether or not your deck is good, but it looks like so much fun. Well, Sword Equip, I need a 3-drop, and I need this Noble Hierarch to not die. Casey, it seems like you were going to bully the ever-loving crap out of fair blue decks, though. Like, none of my cards were just good against you at all. Oh man, please, like, play an Arcanist or something and let me daze it. Deal. If you've been asking the question, hey, is Renin 6 good? I hope that answers the question. I'm going to keep Force Pitch Brainstorm available to me and just play out the bird this turn. Renin 6 is insane. I haven't played with it myself yet. I'll be doing that over the next couple of days. But Lower Boy keeps sending me screenshots of all the stupid things that it's doing. Oh yeah, it makes sense that you would have Force of Negation in that deck as well. Yeah, you can have your Brainstorm. I don't actually want to Force of Will anything, because, like, Strifo's pile is just going to be, like, full of value. Yeah, like, that's fine. So, like, I'd prefer to shuffle this Force of Will back and find something sweet. In an awkward spot. Brainstorm. Stoneforge would be great. I am not doing a good job of doing anything that matters. So I think I'm going to bury my spells. Take my opponent off of 2 colors by doing this. Let's see if they want my bird. I will totally give them my bird. But if Strifo keeps, like, making land drops here, after starting down 2 cards and, like, having another very anemic Brainstorm, I don't think I can really win. There's a Preordain, 1 bottom, 1 top, followed by Brainstorm. Haha, I successfully blanked the Thoughtseize. Joke's on you, I have nothing. I guess I should have ordered this the other way to put the Jitte in play. This turn. That was a small mistake on my end. I'm going to go with pre-combat Jete. That way I can play around a Spell Pierce pre-combat. Yep. Yep. I'm not even going to cast this yet. I need more out of this brainstorm. Like, I can't get brainstorm locked, or I think I just lose the game. Fuck. Is this the point where I have to go for it? I need to hit a fetch. I can't hit, like, Stoneforges in and out yet. I guess land plus Stoneforges. No, I'm going to wait one more turn. I will pull the trigger on it the following turn. Don't do it, Stryfo. Don't play something big and stupid. Is this a must counter card? It would kill nobles and birds. If they get a wasteland, I'm stone cold dead to it, given the way that I fetched earlier this game. I think it is. Does not feel good. It makes my brainstorming hand so much worse. Alright. Don't punishing fire me, bro. Or like Thoughtseize either would be rough. Yeah, okay. Small threats are no good. I need to throw this Batterskull back in the deck. Okay, True Name is an awesome, awesome draw. So I think I'm going to send back Batterskull Tundra. Play out a land. There's basically no world where I can force anything and pitch this True Name. Like, I'd consider it for a DAC or Jace, but I don't think I can win the game without this True Name resolving. I also think it's too late to start going for basics. We got absolutely stomped by a Cascade deck. In awesome, awesome fashion. I don't care about these cards in hand. That's fine. Cries. Ugh. I can't beat these, like, value-oriented... No. No, I'm done with you, Stryfo. You win. You win. I don't think I can beat these value-oriented blue decks. So Rip seems fine. Council Judgment seems fine. Jailer seems risky, but I think I'm going to do it because I think I'm very unfavored. Bear with 2 guns. The reason to play green is to try to jam this stuff on turn 2, but I haven't been doing a very good job on that. I think Swords of Plowshares is probably medium. I need to leave some in because of the stupid Plague Engineer thing that I just saw. Ah, yes. There's the classic copy pasta. I feel like just all my cards are bad. I think Force of Will's bad against the value-oriented nature of their deck, but at the same time, I kind of need to like answer some of those cards no matter what. Days is medium because the games are going to go so long. I just feel like my deck's bad. Again, I'm unhappy. Getting wrecked. Alright, maybe let's trim a Daze. Maybe trim a Bird. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to hope to spike a land to play True Name on turn 2, followed by True Name on turn 3. And then if they, like, Engineered Plague Man me, I'll just die or something. I've got double force. This Teferi is probably just going to be force fodder. Although, believing in the deck and hoping to draw the right thing has not worked so far today. So we'll see if it works this time. Please don't bolt me. That's not bolt colors. It's also not bolt colors, but it's an acceptable draw. Would I force a punishing fire? Honestly, I probably would. Well, I don't get the option to answer that. Again, I think fetching the basics will just make my mana worse in the games that I'm actually, like, winning. Alright, I have double force available to me. That's great. I'll play a second one of these. I still have a Force of Will for, like, a Deluge or an Engineered Plague Man. I'll lose to, like, Sweeper plus Force of Will, but otherwise I'm feeling great. Am I playing Teferi? I don't think so. Like, Teferi is force fodder, Daze is force fodder. Everything is force fodder. Punishing Fire, Noble Hierarch, yeah, that's fine. Force. Pitch Daze. Force. Pitch Force. Force. Pitch Teferi. You're at 6. Yeah! I've done it. That's how we win. That's how we win. Blink, I think this list is already absolutely glutted on 3-drops. I don't think you can take any more. This is fine. We lost to Rhinos, and now we're in Game 3 versus Strifopile. Alright, which basics do I have? I have Forest Island. Do I want to get Forest Island? Not really. Well, that doesn't get dazed. Stoneforge is not great versus Strifopile, by the way. Pierce. Well, let's brainstorm and send this Batterskull away, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing from there. Wasn't really expecting that. I think I have to pierce this. Alright, this is solid. So the Batterskull needs to go back. I wonder if I'm just supposed to waste them off of blue. Yeah, I think I'm okay redrawing Tundra and just wasting them. Then if they, like, play a Ren and 6 without playing a land, I've just got them. Alright, Force, Pitch, Force. I accept that. There's nothing I can do about it, so of course I do. Alright, now Ren and 6 is much less of a threat, and now the Punishing Fires aren't as scary long-term either. Senior Yace. Awesome. I'm going to take a guaranteed card here. My opponent can have, like, Bolt or Pyroblast, or apparently To the Slaughter. This is a great set of cards. Strand is going back, and I think Swords to Plowshares is going back. Then I'll pass. Super glad I just decided to take my value out of Jace, by the way. Oh man, what do you have? Pierce and Daze together probably answer whatever it is. No, it does not. But Council's Judgment answers that. No, I've got the Council Judgment to answer the Leovold. And I don't want to give them a card when they're this low on resources. So if they go land Dak, I still beat that if I just play a True Name out. I mean, I'm just trying to think, like, how badly can I be punished if I don't Council's Judgment this turn? Thoughtseize would be devastating. Like, Thoughtseize take the Council's Judgment. I think I'm going to be okay with just casting a True Name. Well, that does not get dazed or pierced. That is an annoyance. Yeah, land is fine. Like, I don't love land here, but it's fine. And I'm just going to take basics here to keep access to Trop in the deck. Play Council Judgment first to play around Soft Permission. I'm really hoping that Arkin doesn't have, like, Dak this turn. Or, sorry, not Arkin, Stryfo. So bad. I will discard Rip and Daze. So this doesn't draw it, right? Yeah. Not a great set of cards. Brainstorm very bad with Leovold in play. think I'm just gonna... I'm gonna take Force. The thing is, it's not probably gonna do anything. No, I want this Dak off the table. Dak plus Leovold is absolutely unacceptable. Like, it's just going to turn so many of my potential good top decks into just nothing. No, if I attack, I get the Dak off the battlefield on my next turn. I also might Force a Will this Preordain before he Dak pluses me. Alright, so I'm technically behind in the race. Preordain can happen, that's fine. I'm technically behind in the race, but I probably feel favored as a whole. Am I playing a bird? Bird can jump block. I don't think I'm playing a bird yet. Like, at any point, I can just, like, hold back the True Name and stop the Leovold. Yeah, it's like, do I want to protect against his random 1 of 4 the Slaughter, or do I want to have Brainstorm Fodder? I guess since, like, Leovold is there, maybe I want to have Brainstorm Fodder. Am I at the point now where I want to slow down this game? Liliana's Triumph could potentially come back somehow, like via Snapcaster. I wish I would have tapped differently. And I think I'm going to put the brakes on. Let's play into a Deluge. Yeah, absolutely. Deluge is unbeatable. Yeah, Ponder confirms Dairy. We're going to continue to play into Deluge, because I can't really beat it if it happens. Is this the point where I've turned the corner and I actually start attacking with True Name? It's a 3-turn clock? No, probably not. Because if I attack with True Name, then I'm kind of like priced into just attacking. Or, sorry, to chump block with other creatures, and it actually then, like, shortens my clock. Well, he has mana. Ren in 6 is an annoyance. So I can attack with True Name, put them to 4. Ren in 6 pings Hierarch. I also could kill Ren in 6 here. But that seems anemic. I think I'm going for broke. Oh, great. Snapcaster, Abrupt Decay. That just means I'm probably dead. So that gets a Hierarch. Ren in 6 pings, kills the bird. They crash in for 7. Alright. Well, this is a hot mess. Alright, so what have we learned about the Bant Stoneblade deck so far? It can't beat value-oriented decks. Like, I just have no way to come back from all of these, like, Planeswalkers Cascade things once they're hitting the table. And I'm also feeling like I'm not hitting the 1-drop into 3-drop plan nearly as consistently as I want to be. Well, basically all of my hands have been anemic so far, right? Like, basically every hand has had something major wrong with it. This is the first successful 1-drop into 3-drop hand we've had. Yeah, I in no world do I think it was correct to Wasteland there. Like, they've got Leovold in play. No way. Alright. So you can pick which 3-drop I slam this turn. Although there's also a world where I'll just, like, waste you and play Stoneforge. The Death and Taxes player in me wants to waste in Stoneforge. That's what I know and love. Like, there's also Brainstorm, Stoneforge available as an option, or just, like, Slam Teferi. I think I'm just supposed to Slam Teferi. Alright, my opponent is forcing pitching a Jace, so maybe, like, Grixis control. I'll still have Stoneforge and Wasteland available to me on the next turn. Although, like, Brainstorm Stoneforge is probably better, because I'm going to want to, like, pitch this Swords to Plowshares. I can still Brainstorm Stoneforge. My opponent's low on resources. I can waste them off of blue. So knowing that I had Wasteland, they fetched Badlands rather than Valk. Does that mean they have another blue source in hand? I think if they wanted to keep their blue, they would have fetched Valk. So I'm going to waste the Badlands. This takes them off of, like, Bolt and K command to answer the Batterskull in the short term. Alright, they had another fetch, so it's kind of irrelevant. One-time dealer. Ha! 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 On the off chance that they're playing Click, I'm dumping this into play right now. Liliana's Triumph, you mean? Or are you talking about something else? Stupid Baleful Strix. Oh, and Garth's Rage. These are good cards. These are very good cards. So, if I want to keep the days, I lose the Jace if I play True Name next turn. It might be better to junk the days and keep both Jace and True Name over the course of this turn and next turn. The days will protect from an opposing Jace on this next turn. but not beat a K command plus land. My true name could just beat a Jace. Yeah, I think I'm going to throw back Daze, true name, play land, offer Stoneforge for Baleful Strix. Well, see, the thing is, like, the Daze is good in the next, like, 2-turn window, and then it's probably pretty terrible after that. Honestly, I kind of like attacking with the Batterskull here. And taking the Strix off the table. That way, if I spike the land, I'm playing Jace onto an empty board. Yeah, it's great to be streaming. Like, I'm a teacher and I've got the summer off, so like, this is my opportunity to really go out there and like play as much Magic as I want. I have a ton of stuff to be doing because I'm like moving next month, but I can afford a few hours every day to stream. The other thing about like trading the Batterskull Germ away is that over the next 4 to 5 turns, my plan is to just like put the Batterskull onto the true name. So that's fine. Yeah, I'll still be able to like stream at least 2 times a week. During the year. I don't think I want to play out this Hierarch. Because it doesn't like change my clock at all. And I'd rather have my opponent live in fear of something. Yeah, so I'm going to be roughly on like the same teaching schedule as I was previously. Like what days I stream or like for how long or some of that stuff might change a little bit, but it's going to be roughly the same. Now do I want to play a land? I think I will play a land. Yeah, like if he deluges me, he deluges me. But if he deluges me, I might be able to just peck him to death with Noble Hierarch. And now I definitely play the Hierarch to play around Liliana Edict or Liliana's Triumph or something. Ooh, hard-cast Force of Will on Noble Hierarch. That feels good. Lightning Bolt themselves. Mad respect. Alright, so we're playing against Grixis Control. I love Council's Judgment. I don't really like Force of Will. Answer Bolt by plowing True Name Nemesis. Ooh, Egget, that is a savage play. I should have done that. When I play D&T, I love Jailer in this matchup. It's probably slightly more questionable here, but probably still worth doing. I guess I'll fluster them. And Rip is questionable. Like, their Call Against Command engine is very good. So, like, the question I have to ask is, like, is there anything I want less than Rip? Source to Plowshares is kind of bad. So I could definitely see doing that. Second Rip is pretty questionable, though. Then again, like, Swords to Plowshare sucks, too, so this is probably fine. Yeah, so, like, in D&T, you really don't want to, like, ever run something like 2 Rips against them because, like, the downside of you drawing the second is so high, but here we have Brainstorm to shuffle it back if I do draw the second. My hand's real medium. But against a discard deck, do I really want to mull something that's, like, certainly functional and has enough lands? Probably not. I think this is a very reluctant keep. This hand's great now. It's possible I should have, like, fetched there, but if I fetch there, I have to take Tropical Island if I want Days up. Alright, it just resolved. I have a Daze as backup for something like a Toxic Deluge. Oh, this is, ooh. Oh, Dr. Bill, thank you for the heads up. I was going to tweet at them after this if they didn't post anything. I will take a Planeswalker with a different name. That sounds good. So now my opponent's, like, cantrips and Baleful Strikes look way less. Yeah, you can Inquisition me all you want, friend. Take the Jitte. Alright, they've just conceded. Alright, pulling out of the nosedive. Well, that game, we got really lucky with the top deck of Noble Hierarch. Like, when this deck doesn't go 1-drop, 3-drop, it feels very anemic. Pity chest waiting for us. We're on our way to great glory via pity chests. I'm with you. So let's talk about SCGCon for a minute while I'm like queuing into this next match. So Friday I had a 7-0 run beating, I think it was Death and Taxes, Loam, Red Prison. That was the first one. Then second one was Black-Red Reanimator, Black-Red Reanimator, and then some other fair deck. So, like, had a great D&T run on Friday. Felt like I had a deck that was really well suited to the metagame. And then Saturday, I just queued into Arcanist decks 4 rounds in a row. And I took 2 of the 4. But that card's really obnoxious. I think I put my deck list into Moto. Yeah. So this is what I was playing at SCGCon. Felt really good. Brightling was doing work all weekend. Very good against the Arcanist decks because, like, it dodges Bolt in multiple ways. It, like, has 3 power, so it can kill Arcanist when it attacks in, which very few other things in this deck can do. Was really, really happy with how the deck felt. I went up to triple path so that I could have 5 extra removal spells to bring in against the Arcanist decks. But it didn't always feel like enough. Like, Arcanist is such that, like, if you let it live for 2 turns, it's sort of like Jace, where you've probably just lost the game to, like, the card advantage that it's accumulating. So, I've got to figure out what I want to do for that matchup. Like, I went 2-2 against it in the actual event, but my playtesting before the event was much more positive than that. So maybe I just needed to be playing against higher caliber players in playtesting. So I'm not going 1-drop, 3-drop. But I'm going Pierce into Stoneforge with Force of Will backup. I think that's fine. So sort of quick, the thing about things like Rest in Peace against the Dreadhorde decks is that they're really not good except against that card. So, like, if they're on, like, a Delver, Pyromancer, True Name Nemesis draw, playing Rip is just awful. This isn't happening. This is not happening. I don't care what deck it is. If they're starting on Mox Diamond, and I deny that, I probably cripple their opening hand quite a bit. Yeah, I knew that could happen, but I can't turn 2 Stoneforge without doing that. So I accept that. Yeah, whatever deck is playing Mox Diamond is very, very good when they have Mox Diamonds. You know what? Stay the course. I'm not just going to, like, play Stoneforge into Active Grove plus potential Punishing Fire. Oh, God, it was lands. Alright. Crop Rot's fine. So they are of the opinion that I am Delver right now, I think. Oh no, I showed him Tundra. Maybe not. Hmm. Alright. That can occur. Oh, they do have the loam. I don't think I can beat loam for Ghost Quarter and Wasteland. Like, I can force this to stick Stoneforge, then spike a land, put Batterskull in play, and hope that's good enough to get me there. If I daze this, I just, like, can't deploy the Stoneforge. So I'm going to force pitch my Brainstorm, then play Stoneforge, hope that next turn I can daze it, but they had yet another land, so that part of the equation is not happening. Yeah, I think I lost this one when I read that my opponent was 4-color loam instead of lands. I just figured with, like, Wrenn and 6 coming into the picture that it was going to be 4-color loam. So that was on me. So I think I get, like, a literal one... Alright, they do have Wrenn and 6 as well. I think I get a literal one-turn window to spike a land. Otherwise, I think I'm just out of this game. Yeah, I'm just going to concede this one. Well, I guess I could draw double land off this Brainstorm. No. I'm gonna concede this one here. That's not worth my time. Evening. It's like early afternoon here for me in Virginia. All right, so I like Surgical. I like Rest in Peace. I'll probably bring in Council's Judgment as a way to go and answer Wrenn and 6. I will probably cut most of my dazes. I don't think they're particularly good. The only thing about cutting of the dazes is that it makes my Force of Will count lower for when that actually matters. I suppose Disenchants are fine. I don't know that I actually want 3, though. And I'll probably cut some number of Swords to Plowshares. Like, I want some as an answer to Merit Lodge and Tireless Tracker. So this would be 61. Maybe I'm just supposed to, like, trim a Force. I could see that. Strong opening hands from this deck today. Well, I guess I'm keeping this, hoping to scry a land to the top. Like, I have many sideboard cards here. But this is a hand where I just might get rolled by Wasteland, Punishing Fire, Loam, that sort of stuff, which I don't love. Land goes on top. Well, they've got to show me things before I can go and surgical them. Table Space, the resident psychic of the channel. Just because you play a lot of lands doesn't mean you know what they have in hand. Like, sure, if they have a wasteland, they probably wasteland me, but like, you don't know that they have it. It's not how that works. The thing about surgicaling Wasteland is they still would have Ghost Quarter. But I think surgicaling them to get information and then being able to like brainstorm appropriately is pretty big game. Three Wastelands in hand, please. Ooh, we get one Wasteland in hand. Wow, my opponent is really heavy on running 6. So no trackers. Win condition is just Merit Lodge or Punishing Fire or Renin 6. So now I can brainstorm with a lot of information. Exploration is fine currently, so I can shuffle away Council's Judgment. I'll keep Disenchant. I can get the Exploration if I need to, which I might just do next turn. I think I'll throw back Council, Misty, Land, Fetch, Trop, play out a second Hierarch, and then I'll make a decision about what to do afterwards. I'm not sure if I'm going to disenchant them or not. Like, I can be greedy and save the disenchant for a Mox Diamond, and before they have Loam, like, Exploration isn't doing a ton. What's wrong with Liliana's Triumph on Cardboard Live deck lists? Because I can pass that along to Wilson. Alright, so Forest is gone. Exploration is gone. They drew Tabernacle. Fuck. Alright, I'll pass that along. Okay. That was a crippling draw based on the line that I took. I probably just need to like pay for my noble hierarchs and try to find my own wasteland to answer that. Things are not looking great. I thought we were fine. That one of Tabernacle as that top card was just more damning than anything else they could have done that turn. Like, even if they went, like, Exploration, Mox, Punishing Fire, or Hierarch, I still have, like, 2 mana and can Disenchant or Stoneforge, but... Like, Tabernacle is essentially a 2-for-1 that threatens more value. I also guess last turn I could have, like, tapped my Tropical Island and attacked it for 2 damage with my Noble Hierarch, so I made an error. I think Giver of Runes will be a solid card in Modern. I don't know enough about, like, the format as a whole to say whether or not. Alright, so now I know that their last card is Punishing Fire. So now all of my mana is wrecked here. Note that we pay with the land so that the Rashadan Port doesn't get, like, bonus value. They can choose to Punishing Fire a Hierarch, so we have no main phase mana, which is probably what they're pausing to think about whether or not they want to do it. So again, just like before, I think I want to use this opportunity to just stick Rest in Peace. Like, it makes the Barbarian Ring into less of a card, and it makes it so that some cards, like Ren and 6, will get less value. Alright. Good old quality game of Magic going on here. Now, it's weird. I think I'm going to use Noble to pay for itself now. One of my 2 lands will get ported. But that's fine. And I think I'm going to use this opportunity to just, like, disenchant their Mox and just, like, treat it as a 2-mana instant speed sinkhole. They've got 2 chokes that would make me regret doing that. But given that 3 of their lands don't actually produce mana right now, I think this is fine. Yeah, resolving a True Name Nemesis would be real sweet right about now, Daniel. Not gonna lie. Alright, so now I have a way to get multiple bodies onto the battlefield, assuming I can get 1 more land. And in case I didn't make this clear before, the reason why... What? Oh, do you have, like, Krosan Grip? Krosan Grip would be a reason why you didn't port. So it's got to be Krosan Grip or Crop Rotation here. If it's Crop Rotation, I'm dead. If it's Krosan Grip, I can play around that. There's also the next level play of it was just a misclick. Ha ha! Got him. And by got him, I mean, like, I had a decent read, but I'm still on the struggle bus here. Hand's looking real strong. So that is another Maze of Ith with a different art. So now they should tap my Tundra. And then I think I'm 100% dead, no outs. Or wait, if they tap my Tundra, can they still produce Merit Lodge? So they go 1-2 to do it. So these don't produce mana. No, they don't have enough mana to do it. That is correct. We are playing a bird to produce a blocker. Who would win in a fight? One rainbow bird or one 2020 Cthulhu boy? Yeah, our best draw is still land. I'm thinking about whether or not I want to keep the Noble. Like, I can just use Noble to pay for Bird. My opponent taps down Tundra. Then I have a mana open. And I can play a 2-drop if I draw one. Otherwise, I, like, pay for both, just have Bird up. Bird chump blocks, I don't really get anywhere. So I think I pay to prevent that. Let Noble go. Opponent nugs Tundra. Hot damn. Not dead. Oh, come on. I needed my opponent to be, like, slightly worse here. God, Blast Zone too? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, chat. Alright. Pay to prevent. Yes. Opponent taps down Tundra. I would like to redraw Tundra, please. Opponent's doing just fine. They have plenty to do with their mana. Like, they have Blast Zone and Rishatenport. Like, I think what you mean is opponent's board is great. I can't possibly beat it. Opponent's playing this one super patiently, by the way. So, like, they're going to Blast Zone away the Rest in Peace before trying to combo off. Yikes, that was a good top deck. Pay 1 for birds or destroy it. I will pay 1 for birds. I'm not dead yet. Just very badly burned. So this is 2 to sacrifice, or is it 3? It's 3 to sacrifice. So they have 2 mana currently. So the worlds in which I win this game involve really weird, convoluted lines. Surgical Extraction, rest in peace combo. Yeah, I agree. I don't think I can win this match. I should probably just concede and just, like, move on to the next one. But my opponent's playing really well, and I kind of respect that. Okay, now after all this waiting, you decide to go for it right here when I, like, clearly have Surge the Plowshares up? I don't know about that. Like, there's no way I tap that Wasteland unless I have white mana. For, like, exactly Swords to Plowshares. And they don't have green for crop rotation for Sajiri Step. Alright. Then they didn't, like, Blast Zone the Rest in Peace before doing that either. Opponent, like, really misplayed there. Alright. Now what? I think I'm going to defer my decision by tapping the birds to itself and hold off on the Wasteland. I think if my opponent cracks Blast Zone, dude, did opponent punt again? 1, 2 mana up. Are they letting me Wasteland this fucking Blast Zone? One, 2 mana up. Like, I'm not missing anything, right? Like, I just get to take out the Blast Zone here, keep my rest in peace. Alternatively, I could just, like, Wasteland the Tabernacle, let them have the rest in peace, and then, like, surgical something else. I'm gonna take the Tabernacle here. Like, it dying now means that it's in exile. So I think my plan to win this game is, like, get that Tabernacle into exile, and then resolve a True Name Nemesis. So, like, the bird will open me up to playing another bird. Yeah, you bet. Manual countdown begins. So, like, I can play bird into bird, and then if I rip a land, I get True Name. Ren in 6 is really punishing. Really, really punishing. Life's hard. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So Bird of Paradise no longer has any text, right? Yeah, Bird of Paradise no longer has any text. Misty's not bad. Specifically because, like, my opponent can port it, and then I can fetch Forest. Like, I'm gonna make my opponent make better decisions than they've made in the last couple of minutes now. Because they've had this game in the bag for a while, but they've made some critical errors that have, like, let me keep back in. And the Ghost Quarter here is annoying, but why aren't you, like, cracking Blast Zone first? I don't know. Is, like, trading Ren for Rest in Peace fine when Ren plussing isn't doing anything? Like, why wasn't Blast Zone cracked before Ren in 6 anyway? That's my first question. Okay, now they just dead me. So now I can concede because there's no combination of cards I can draw that can get me out of that. So that game was a great example of why, even when you're ahead, you should play tight. Like, I think I had literal 0 chance of winning that game for like 6 turns, and then I think my opponent made multiple mistakes that gave me outs. I didn't get to said outs, but I crawled way, way more back into that game than I deserved. So, like, had I actually resolved a true name Nemesis in the midst of, you know, the window that I made, like, I maybe couldn't have killed them before they found the Merit Lodge anyway, but I would have had a very, very real chance. Or, for example, if I had stuck a Jace or a Narset, you know, maybe there's a world where, you know, I can hold up the Source of Plowshares, you know, answer an end-of-turn Merit Lodge, and then just, like, keep accruing advantage. One drop, 3 drop. Wait, something's wrong. I still think I keep this one. Because if my opponent's on a non-basic land deck, I'm super strong against their start. And if I rip a blue land, I'm still really well off. Or if I rip a cantrip and the bird lives, like, I can just, like, try to find a Stoneforge Mystic or something like that to do with my turn. Cavern. On human. I think my start's gonna be strong. Mox. Oh, so it's Bomberman? It's Bomberman. Yeah, this is gonna be a fine start. That makes my start a little less good. Alright. Comes a time in every man's life where he has to decide, is he jamming? So I can just, like, jam the true name and try to clock my opponent, or I can just waste them and try to keep them off of 3 or 4 mana, which are the critical numbers for this deck. I'm going to try to keep them off of, like, Mentor and Salvagers for the time being. I think True Name on its own is probably too slow of a clock. And if I can get this game to the point where, like, the Jace matters, that'd be cool. Oh, boy. This is what I didn't want to happen. Alright. That's way better than most of the other things that could have happened. Like, that's way better than, like, Karn or Salvagers or something hitting the table. Long live Massacre and Dreadnought. Who do you think you are coming into my channel and praising anti-white cards? Welcome, I hope you're having fun. We're in round 5 of this league. Bantblade, not looking so hot currently. Currently 1-3, playing for funsies. And we've knocked our opponent off of mana. Oh man, Strifo, that game was nuts. Yeah, good games. 2-3 makes 50 Planeswalker points. Woo-wee! I mean, that's cool. That means I'm not just, like, playing for nothing. So no, I won't be playing another league after this, but the next league that I stream, maybe tomorrow, will be 4-color loam featuring red and 6. Alright, opponent has found mana. They found Mentor. I'm not super well equipped to answer Mentor. I've played against it, not with it. I've gotten a lot of screenshots from people just showing me how absolutely absurd that card is. Well, I really wanted to spike a land to just, like, bounce the Mentor, but second True Name is pretty hot. Strifo was playing Ren and 6 in Strifo Pile. He kind of does his own thing. It's a cool deck, but no one else can seem to play it well. Oh boy, it's Karn. What's Karn getting? Karn gets LED. So I'll need to kill the Karn so that Karn just doesn't wish for bridge and beat me. I'm not worried about losing to Mycosynth Lattice, though. Wasteland's actually a great draw. So we kill Karn, we attack them. And I think I Wasteland them off Ancient Tomb here rather than play Jace, because second Karn, crack LED, get bridge is very, very bad. An anonymous chair, thank you very much for the bits. Hope you're enjoying the legacy content. Don't play Karn. Don't play Karn. F. Don't do it. All right. So let me think about this for a second. They can just make infinite mana and bobble a bunch of times. I can attack them for 6, and I'll just die to monks. Sorry, it took me a second to realize I was just dead too bored. We died to small boys. Alright. Disenchant. Great. Council's Judgment. Great. Rest in Peace. Probably good enough. Problem with Rest in Peace is, like, it only attacks one side of the combo. It attacks, like, the Auriok Salvager's side of the combo, but, like, that's fine. I really thought we were going to win that one despite, like, Chalice being on 1 and 2. So, what is bad in this matchup? I mean, variety has some value, Strifo, even though, like, Teferi is, like, absolutely worse than Narset. This is also a donation deck list, so this is sword equipped deck list from the chat. I'm a little unsure about what to cut. Yeah, I don't like Teferi all that much. Like, if I cut the Stoneforge Mystic package or trim the Stoneforge Mystic package, I'm a little threat light, and I'm going to, like, rely very, very heavily on True Name to win the game. I don't really think Jitte is great. I think I could probably trim one of those safely. I think I can... maybe I can't trim a Source of Pleasures, like they have 4 Mentors. Could probably trim on one of those. I'm really not sure. If I'm being, like, completely honest how I should do this. So rather than cut things, I'm going to trim things. I really don't know. I'm gonna keep this and be sad about it. I'm gonna hope that, like, Hierarch into Narset will find me something that makes this hand really, like, worth keeping. I also can't overstate, like, how good Wasteland can be against, like, the starts that that deck can have. Alright, I think I'm going to play Narset. Minus Narset, try to find a blue card so they have Force of Will up, and then have, like, Narset in play when I Wasteland my opponent. Brainstorm seems sweet. Although there is just a world where I'd, like, grab second Narset here. Wow, cycling the cast out. Note Narset says each opponent can't draw more than one card each turn. So you can, like, use baubles and, like, cycling and stuff sometimes in order to, like, actually draw your cards. Is that worth 2 cards? I think that's worth 2 cards. I think, like, given how I'm probably going to use the Narset on my turn, I want to be able to Wasteland my opponent minus and find a 3-drop. Nice. That's okay. So, like, let's nug you with that. Maybe shouldn't have showed the Wasteland. Probably should have played a fetch instead. LED's fine. Bobble's fine. Opal's fine. City is less fine. This is gonna be a tasty, tasty days. Oh, that's inconvenient. So I can daze this, opponent pays with LED, has 2 mana to return, and then just combos off through my protection spell. That's kind of tilting. So, like, there is a world where they won't be willing to sacrifice their hand to do it. They were willing to sacrifice their hand to do it. And I will just concede there. They've got it from there. All right. Well, I'm gonna level with you. I don't think this deck's very good. Like, I by no means will claim that I played perfectly or anything like that, but I just felt like what I was doing was worse than what my opponent was doing in all 4 rounds. Like, unless I started on 1-drop, 3-drop, I felt like my opening hands were pretty anemic. I felt like I had fewer answers than Stoneblade does to opposing threats because, like, I'm playing 6-mana accelerants. So, like, if this was 6 more interactive cards or something like that, I think that would have been better in a lot of my matchups. So, like, it's possible I shouldn't have forced the Walking Ballista. But, like, the Walking Ballista, like, taking off my Narset and, like, turning card draw back on in mass, or, like, removing my Hierarch, and, like, limiting my ability to, like, do a follow-up 3-drop play the following turn. Like, I think it was fine. So another thing is, like, this deck leans so heavily on Brainstorm because, how do I say this? You have fewer cards that fulfill each role. So, like, if we're looking at main deck creature answers, it's 4 Swords to Plowshares, right? There's nothing like, the Terminus you see from Miracles, or like a Supreme Verdict or a Path that you sometimes see from Stoneblade, or an EE, or a Council's Judgment. Like, you don't have the extra cards to find, and you also don't have, like, Ponders to help smooth out your draws. So, like, if you compare this to, like, say, this deck list, like, this is just a random blue-red Delver deck list. Like, this deck has 12 cantrips to help smooth things out, and this has, like, 4 plus a bunch of Planeswalkers. And, like, I think since you're, like, playing these, you're losing out on cantrips as well. So you have fewer cantrips and fewer cards in each rolls. And overall, I think that just led to a formula that caused me to, like, trip over myself too much. So I think this is a case of, like, cool deck idea, but in practice, I don't think this deck list performed well. Like, again, I'll own up to the potential mistakes that I made, and some mistakes that, like, were just bad, but I'm going to point at the deck for this one and go, like, this was more you than me here. Nevertheless, I hope you all enjoyed it. So I'll be back again soon. I'll probably play some 4-color Loam either tomorrow or Wednesday. I'll post about it on Twitter and give you all an announcement a little while before it actually happens. But if you enjoyed my content today, please follow the channel. I'm pumping out a lot of Legacy content, and I'm doing so a little bit on a less regular schedule than I used to, just because I'm off for the summer, and I just kind of like play when I have time to play. And if you're really enjoying the content, please consider doing something to financially support my channel and producing the best Legacy content I have. Unfortunately, no one else is streaming Legacy at this time, so I have no one else to turn you over. Have a great rest of the day, folks.